Oh, my apologies. I just realized I've been commentating for like the past 5 minutes since I started the stream, and my mic has been muted the whole time. Well, this is awkward. Okay, well, I was just explaining how it shouldn't be possible for an FTHC to happen because there's already a normal THC scheduled. I was wondering why like the chat was like so unresponsive. Wow, okay. Well, that would explain a lot. So right now we're just getting some housing made. Because a snow pylon would be nice to have. Is that even? I can't tell if that's even or not. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Yeah, that's even. Okay, good. The one time I forget to check my mic, it turns out it was actually muted. Okay. So yeah, this is just some more casual building before we boss rush some more, because having a pylon would just be nice in this area. And I try to be creative, and then it turns out that I'm just building yet another box house, so I guess no creativity allowed here. That would just be way too weird. Creativity? Nah. I think we can get... 3 houses. Yeah, we can get 3 houses. We can get, like, a table in the middle here. That is not in the middle. And then, like, some chairs to make it nice and fancy. This is, like, the weirdest setup ever. And then something like that. Yeah, that looks good. No idea what, like, this space will be used for at all, but it looks decent. Then we can maybe get some boreal lamps up in here as well. Will this house look semi-decent? Semi-decent is a stretch. I'm not gonna lie. I'd call this high relative shoebox quality. Just getting some ice for some appropriate torches. There we go. The hardest part of Terraria is making any builds look nice whatsoever. What can we get? Boreal wood. We should have enough walls. More effort than my NPC dungeons. I mean, at least dungeons implies you have, like, a scene going on with the background. This is just what you do when you don't feel like putting effort into a house. So, you just use the biome-specific blocks and just throw them together and hope it works. Okay, I don't actually think we even have... Yeah, we don't have Goblin yet, so this will be kind of useless for now, but we can eventually get some NPCs going. We should also make a jungle pylon. That might be a good idea. You were looking for something to watch while you write weird DBH... you know what? I don't even want to know what that is. I have no idea what that acronym stands for. Oh yeah, jungle and snow, being on the same side with drunk, is gonna be annoying for pylons. Well, maybe it won't, I'm not sure. It would be cool if you could make, like, corruption pylons. I wonder, hold on, I wonder if there's, like, ebonwood furniture. I have no idea if that's, like, a thing. But I've, like, never tried to, like, use it before on a build. Oh, only 44 damage. Okay. Keep forgetting this isn't Forza-worthy. It's so weird using crimson weapons in the corruption. Even though, like, I know and have just been talking about it being a drunk world. Where's the acorns? Okay, there we go. The one thing Crimson Armor is good at is life regen. It's so nice. I was using a Valhalla Knight setup. Oh, Ancient Shadow Greaves. Okay. I was using a Valhalla Knight setup in a THCC earlier. Basically, all the THC people getting bored and deciding to do a Master Mode Hardcore playthrough. Except it wasn't even hardcore because, like, you could respawn in, but you'd lose all your stuff and your life crystals and stuff. So somewhere in between medium core and hardcore, because you still had a limited amount of lives. It was weird. And I was using Valhalla Knight for that. And it's actually surprisingly viable on Master. Oh, there is Ebonwood furniture. Nice. Okay, time to, like, figure out how to make this look not horrifyingly ugly. So what I'm thinking is we can get, like, a kind of pier going onto water. And maybe, we need, like, some sort of support structure for that. So maybe what I could do is make this too deep. And we need to kill these slimes. This also, like, would double as a fishing spot if we ever, like, got enough water added to this pond. This is going to be a very awkwardly shaped pier because it needs to be high for enough houses to exist for the pylon, but whatever. We can get some mud. I don't want it to go all the way, because then getting in will be awkward. Here we go. We need jungle spores for jungle lights, so I don't feel like grinding for those right now. And what we can do, just build another level. And some platforms. And the last level. Okay, I have no idea how this is gonna turn out. I don't think very well. This is like someone tried to build a box, but like half over water instead of like a pier. See, this is why I don't build in Terraria. It always goes wrong like this. Ebonwood. You know what I could do? This is completely wasteful because this isn't big enough for 2 NPC houses, but I like the symmetricality of it. That should just be symmetry, not symmetricality. I have no idea what that meant. But maybe some stone just to make this look even more awful. If you want a corruption pylon that bad, just grind a universal pylon. Even the universal pylon, like, won't work in the corruption because NPCs just won't live there. What time is it for you? It is 10 for me, which would probably not be most people's favorite time to stream, and probably isn't a good time to stream for viewers, which is probably why we only have 9 people right now. But I felt like streaming, so a stream is happening. I mean, this playthrough probably is not the best idea for viewers anyway. We don't really have enough boreal wood to make any lights. But I just wanted like a casual Terraria playthrough, so this qualifies. 3, 4. Barely have enough. There we go. Do any of these even qualify? They do qualify as housing. There's no way to get in or out, but it qualifies for some reason. We can get some boreal doors because the house isn't cursed enough. Actually, There we go. Best doors. It works. It's valid housing. And I think that's enough for this side of the world. Did two fallen stars just shoot right after each other? That's strange. Okay. The reason it qualifies is because of the wood platforms. Yeah, that's how the speedrunner housing works. You can just, like, place a few platforms and the game thinks, oh yeah, that qualifies as a door. NPCs don't need, like, actual areas to live in. Yeah, that's just, you know, that would be excessive. Having entrances and exits? No, we don't do any of that. Okay, so let's look at our gear situation, because it's actually been a while. So we have platinum, we have moonlord legs. We could go for obsidian armor and play summoner, which I play way too much, but it is kind of fun to play. So we could do that. We don't have any minions yet, but we do have a Deathbringer pick, so we could go down and get imps. We do need to continue the elevator, which I should probably do while talking. I do have fall damage immunity, so I can, like, not pay attention to anything and just be completely fine. That's reassuring. What would be more reassuring is if we had any light whatsoever here, but I guess that would be asking for too much. And this rope is already at the bottom, and we have a giant pool of water that we need to get rid of. Okay. And there's piranhas, because of course there are. These guys are being very rude and not letting me build my elevator. Why won't they let me just destroy their natural habitat? I don't get it. Okay. And we can go back up. And hopefully this will be enough. We can figure out where all the water is draining to, and the cave is definitely not big enough. Okay, it just got completely flooded, and there is still a ton of water left. That is not ideal. What we could do, is block this off. Get some air. Go down here. And now that water is just sealed away. Then just keep on throwing bombs until we find another cave we can dump water into. And hopefully this cave is bigger and will let us flood it more. Although it doesn't seem like it for some reason. Spider cave can just go die. Even though it isn't really a spider cave. Okay, this is just another huge water body. This elevator is just not going very well at all. Just completely flooded. How much water do we have? Oh, it is still draining. That is progress. The bombs would just break it open. As long as we leave the wall side, it shouldn't. Oh. Switch up summoner and focus on minions. I do like focusing on minions. I do feel that, like, summons, like, get too focused on whips a lot of the time. You know what, I'm just going to dig this way. And we can continue it after the mushroom biome. The mushroom biome will also finally let us get regular healing potions, because they're still using lesser ones for some reason. Which just doesn't make any sense, in my opinion. Like, we're so late into pre-hard mode progression. No excuse to still be using regular potions. If we focused on minions pre-hard mode, that would involve like getting the blood moon fishing, which would be maybe less than ideal. You're just face tanking everything. Rockfish is an underrated melee weapon. Look at this. This is a pre-boss weapon. And flare gun. Okay, well, we got the best weapon in the game. We can't possibly die now. Sadly, it looks like the cave ends, though. Which is very unfortunate indeed. Anything up here? No, okay. We could tunnel down through here, see what's up. Maybe there's like another chest or any life crystals or something. That'd be interesting. Flare gun is OP, yeah, best destroyer weapon, definitely. Well, there does not seem to be many life crystals right here, unfortunately. Ring of Confusion, again, underrated. Better than Wurmskoff early game, in my opinion. Well, we finally got a chest, at least. Who knows if it actually has anything decent. It might not, but whatever. Doesn't look to be trapped. Okay, we don't actually need... It would be pretty funny to make an early glowing mushroom biome, actually. We don't need seeds. Don't need more rope. Do we not have glowing mushroom? We do have glowing mushrooms in our inventory, okay. So what we can do, we can go back up and make some more potions. Well, better potions, actually. And were those all our healing potions? Looks like it. And there we go, and there we go. But that's almost a stack of healing potions, which should be fine, because you naturally just find healing potions lying around, so they shouldn't be too big an issue. Could fight Eye of Cthulhu again for absolutely no reason. Man, it's just too late for my semester. It starts Monday. Oh yeah, I have my school year starting. I can't remember if it's Monday or Tuesday. It's next week. So that's going to be not particularly fun. Although, like, I'm kind of... I don't know, like, how to describe it. I'm kind of looking forward to school not being online, but I'm also kind of not looking forward to it not being online. Online was different. So it'll be interesting to see how it is back in person again. We still need to finish up the elevator. There's no, like, good area here with, like, no water. I guess we could go down here a bit. Shouldn't be too big an issue. 2 hours later, Adventurer's Run ended because he ran out of healing. I don't think that's particularly likely. It'll probably end because I died to... What's the most likely way I die here? I find that always an interesting question, because usually after you recognize something like that, it would fix itself, but not always. I think the likeliest way I die is from some random early hard mode enemy. That's what I think. At least that's how I normally died in Master for the Worthy Hardcore, but this isn't for the Worthy, so I don't think so. Would that have killed me? That's just a boulder trap, isn't it? I think the boulder would one-shot, but it also makes, like, a noise, like, just yelling out that it's there. They aren't particularly effective traps. Okay, we got Hermes. Could have used that a bit earlier before we fished for them. Another life crystal. Useful. I love these moss caves. They, like, show you the shape of the cave so easily. It's great. So much loot to be found. They also, like, highlight stuff like life crystals. It's awesome. And another life crystal. This is why I just love throwing glow sticks everywhere. You never know what you might find. Oh, and we maxed out our life. Okay. Time to explore for more loot, even though there's basically nothing we could find right now that I'd like. Can't think of anything anyway. Now this would be a perfect area for a trapped chest, but I don't see anything. One thing I always get paranoid about is dying to a trapped chest. I died exactly once to a trapped chest in a hardcore run, and I never want to have it happen again. I hate being blind. It's not enjoyable. There don't seem to be any boulders though, so I think we're safe. And a lucky horseshoe. Not exactly what I wanted. I forget if we looted all the sky islands or yet not. No, we didn't. We only looted like a few. Okay, and another life crystal, useful for arenas. Not gonna complain. And we're no longer blind. Yay, I like seeing things. And some amethyst. I like having money, so I will take that. Do pre-hard mode Plantera strats? What? What's the pre-hard mode Plantera strat? Like just making Plantera arenas pre-hard mode? Got some shoe spikes. Honestly, probably will be useful for Master Ninja gear. Still, like it feels bad when you get them, even though like you know that they're better than basically anything else you could get, just because you're so used to being annoyed at shoe spikes. But at least we won't have to grind for them later. Probably already have them and just forgot that I ever got them. That's like one reason just to like not loot all the surface chests until later on. Oh, 100 damage. Fun. Because you'll just like forget you have it and half the time just throw it away. Or forget you don't have it and throw it away. Build the arena in free hard mode so you don't die to a moss hornet. Or just build the Queen Bee arena bigger and use the Queen Bee arena so you don't have to build another arena. I don't plan on dying to a moss hornet though. On regular master, I'm not concerned about dying to moss hornets. It's not force-worthy. Another Hermes food. Okay. Would be nice if this was multiplayer. And is that... that doesn't look like it's a trap. Yeah, it's not. Okay. And more Hermes boots. Guarding as well. Okay. I guess I won't complain. I don't know why the game wants to give me so many Hermes boots, like, all at once, when I needed them earlier, but alright. And another mushroom biome. No idea what we can use here, but hey, it's a mushroom biome. There's some blink root. I wonder how much damage crawdads deal. Oh, only 61. So like 100 base. Okay. I expected more. Trying to figure out like where the biome continues. Archery potion. Try not to destroy the mushrooms since we can't really pick them up. Cave seems to continue over there most easily. That's more contact damage than Duke Fishron deals in Classic. I have to think his base contact damage still has to be higher, right? Then again, I haven't fought him in... Well, I think I did fight him in Classic once. He's way harder in Classics than an Expert. Because, you don't have dash in Classic. Messes up, like, all of your dodge patterns. Unless you fight him post-Plantera. Then I suppose you do have dash. Or Crystal Assassin. But that's not really viable in THC. Wonder how hard For the Worthy Classic would be. That's an interesting thought. I don't really need a rally at all. Thought that said cobalt ore for a second instead of copper. And what is there? Nothing much really. Friendly neighborhood skeleton in Spider Biome could be useful for hard mode. Almost down to hell now. Completely forgot to get any obsidian on the way, but hey, that's why we have the elevator. Easy obsidian. There's a few more cave entrances that would probably make easier ways down. I can, like, figure out a way to get a elevator, like, out of this later. For now, it's just exploration time. Don't do enough of that in this game. Always fun, even when you don't really get much from it. Wish there was more reason to explore after you beat bosses. Currently, there really isn't. More Hermes boots, are you kidding? I'm not even taking those. I do not see the point. More geysers. Actually, I suppose I should be collecting these, since there's a limited amount in a world. Wow, there are a lot. Might be finite, but it doesn't appear to be very limited. There we go. And some rubies, which means money. I think we need to put some stuff in a piggy bank. That should be enough. Master Hardcore for the Worthy. I mean, I did do that, and I'm tempted to try it again. Except for the fact that it's not really, how would I describe it? It can be enjoyable fighting the bosses, but I just feel like it's a bit too grindy right now. What I'd really like is a mode like Forza Warzy, but without all the damage inflation on regular enemies. So like you could get Master Forza Warzy bosses, mining speed, etc., without all the boring enemy stat inflation. Because dying to like a random turtle that does 800 damage just isn't particularly fun. It just isn't. Then I'm always surprised at how, like, little damage there is on regular Master. So I keep on thinking, oh, it's like halfway between Expert and Forza Warzy. It should be, like, pretty hard still. No, it is not halfway between Expert and Forza Warzy. At all. It's basically just slightly buffed Expert. Like, if you play Expert, you'll be able to beat Master with a bit of extra grinding. That's basically all it is, a bit more grinding. I'm not actually sure why I prefer, like, Master to Expert. I kind of like Expert in some circumstances, and then kind of like Master in others. Master kind of, like, forces you to optimize your build with, like, potions and stuff, so I kind of like building herb farms and stuff, so in that way I kind of enjoy playing Master mode. Forza Warzy, once you play it once, I'm not sure how much fun it is multiple times over. Okay, and a red potion, and restoration potions, okay. Well, I'll take the restoration potions, will be useful for boss fights. Would be funny if there were, like, meteorite bars. I just, like, saw the trap, I wanted to go grab it, and then casually hopped on top of it. What logical process in a brain decides to do that? That's what I'm gonna ask. Brain, what were you doing? Okay, so I think the best approach... I guess a water walking potion might actually be the best approach. So we make some obsidian. There's some water next to some lava over here. That should be enough. Then we go down, get a water walking potion, and get some hellstone. Obsidian skin would also be nice. Thoughts on repeaters. They're bows, but better. I don't see why any class should have to spam click, in my opinion. It's just not a fun type of gameplay. And I don't think balancing weapons by making you spam click them is good game design. Okay, so make Forza Warzy without 3 times contact damage. Do you still want the Ironheart-esque mode too? That's like an idea I've like had for a while. I didn't actually realize Calamity has it. I haven't played Calamity. Maybe I should. The interesting thing about hardcore, in my opinion, is like the constant surveillance. So if like you got like a mode, oh nice, shiny red balloon, that had Master Forza Warzy AI without the enemy stat boosts, then I don't really feel Ironheart would be necessary, because like just regularly watching out for enemies wouldn't be as painful, since they wouldn't one-shot. The main reason, like, you'd want, like, I would want that mode at least, is, wow, 3 floating islands. All right next to each other. Okay, should have gone to this side first. Is if you, like, somehow, like, can't modify Forza Warzy at all, but you still want to play it, and on a difficulty higher than Classic. But if you got Forza Warzy AI with Master stats, then That would definitely remove the need for an Ironheart mode or anything. Why are there so many islands on this side? I wish islands were less like RNG on which side they were on. All of them are always on like one side for some weird reason. Okay, well, I guess that works. How many hours do you have? 2,500. I've spent way too long recently playing this game. And I'm not actually sure what the goal for this playthrough is. Like, I want it to be more casual, but now I'm just like... I like find myself like auto-progressing, which is weird. Like, I'm just on autopilot, and I'm like, oh, I should go get a Hellstone. Oh, I should go do this. Like, I swear, like, I could, like, turn off my brain, and, like, it would decide, hey, we're not building any houses, we're just gonna make ugly shoeboxes and, beat Terraria bosses. Because that sounds, fun and enjoyable and non-repetitive. And then I'll just, like, use the same, strats each time for each boss, without thinking. Would be nice if you could, like, decide... manually, oh hey brain, I want to like stop doing this, and your brain could like say anything besides like, nah, we're gonna keep doing this, and you ask, but why? I want to try something new, and it's like, no, you're gonna do the exact same thing you've used to beat this game 3 times before, but why? Because he will. Have you ever tried mods? No, I have not. I think I played, like, a bit of Calamity with my friends before they all quit. We got, like, a few bosses down, but I think Calamity would be the one mod I'd like to try, but I haven't really tried mods. Well, there's still a bit. I don't know if my Grav Potion will get that far, but could give it a try. Why not? One simple tip is to just not have a brain. I suppose that would work. But then how would you get the dodge chance from the Brain of Confusion? You're missing out on that 16.6% average damage reduction. That seems like an unoptimal playstyle. Make the goal Daytime Empress of Light. I had a discussion with a Crabbar yesterday over pillars. I suggested Daytime Empress of Light, but... he made a good point that it's just still not climactic as Moonlord, and that Moonlord should remain the final boss. And I'm, like, wondering, okay, but, like, the whole event sucks. It's just not fun. I don't enjoy any aspect of it. The Lunatic Cultist fight is just underwhelming. The Moonlord fight itself, I guess, is the best part, but even then, it's not, like, particularly special. It's, like, a decent boss fight, but it's not something that, like... is worth waiting through everything for. The only, like, reason it's a good end-of-game boss fight is because it was designed to be an end-of-game boss fight, and everyone likes final end-of-game boss fights. And then the difficulty is, if you want to replace him, everyone's going to be like, no, Moonlord, the final boss. And you're going to, like, have to persuade people that Moonlord isn't that good a boss. So it's difficult for anyone to really, like, replace him at all. And honestly, I don't think he needs to be replaced. I think just removing the pillars would honestly add more late-game variety, along with some balancing. For example, Flying Dragon. A weapon you get long after Terrorblade. It's one of the old one's army weapons. It's, like, almost useless, besides its ability to, like, go through blocks, which already, like, have this damage. Like... there's other weapons to do that. I suppose it has a bigger range. But it gets immediately replaced by the Solar Eruption. So, like... what's the point of, say, doing Old One's Army Tier 3? Did I not do Goblin Army yet? I don't remember doing it, so maybe I didn't. So I feel not Old One's Army. Moonlord just removes variety. The other problem... is a lot of the events, like, on that tier just aren't balanced very well. For example, like, Old One's Army. Why is the main purpose of all of the Old One's Army armors to beat the Old One's Army better? by the time I get the armor set, I want something that's good outside of the old one's army. I don't want something balanced around beating the old one's army better. Like, sure, they're good for beating old one's armies. They're great at it. But, like, you can't just have an event that gives you items that only make you better at said event. That's not... There's no reason to play that event. You could argue that that's, like, Terraria, and, like, you only play Terraria to, like, give you items to be better at beating Terraria, but, like, that's a larger self-contained system. Like, at that point, it gets a bit arbitrary. But, like, with Old One's Army, it's so small that, like, you miss out on substantial parts of gameplay if you try, like, actually using Old One's Army armors the way they were meant to be. The only, like, real use sentries ever have is, like, AFK farming, which they aren't even that good for, because they despawn after 2 minutes. Why do they despawn after 2 minutes? Like, minions don't. Why do sentries despawn after 2 minutes? It makes them basically useless for AFK grinding, and the other area is in the hard mode dungeon, which is about their only real use. And, like, why would you grind an event that takes longer than just grinding in the underground, post-Plantera dungeon, just to be better in the post-Plantera dungeon? It just doesn't make sense. And it's made worse by the fact that I actually really like the design of the Old One's Army armors. I try to, like, make setups with them. I made a funny, like, summoner tank setup with it. It's enjoyable to fool around with. But they're just so bad in terms of gameplay if you use them the way they're intended to be used that it's just frustrating. Because sentries are balanced around their function in the Old One's Army. Like, you're supposed to have, like, dozens of them in the same event, so, of course, they're each going to be weaker than a minion. That makes sense, right? Because you'd have less minions. Don't want to make them, like, too absurdly broken or anything. But then, that doesn't change when they get introduced back into normal gameplay, and the devs think, oh, we couldn't, like, give the player, like, a dozen sentry slots. That would be too broken. Let's give them 3 sentry slots. Let's give them the same amount of sentry slots Spider Armor gives her minion slots for an armor set that's post-Golem. Why? Oh, and there's, like, one single accessory that increases, sentry slots. And it increases it by 1, and it increases minion damage by 10%. It can't be crafted into anything. Like, that's just it. It's just a worse version of the Papyrus Scarab. Necromantic Skull, whatever you want to call it. I can't remember which one is the upgrade of which. But there's no reason to ever use it. Because what are you going to do with one sentry? A sentry is almost always just a worse version of whatever minion you have available. Doesn't help with, like, how bad Ballistae are with how their damage works against non-Old One's Army enemies, because they're piercing, and they also, like, have a delay on their projectile. It's not instant like the Terra Prisma or the bats from the Dreadnoughtalus. They don't have, like, perfect aggro, which, like, seems like just a minor thing of, oh, okay, just deal with imperfect aggro, except it significantly reduces their damage output. It reduces their damage output by, like, 90% because they just can't hit anything. Which just makes them terrible in boss fights. Now, the reason that, like, some Old One's Army armors are viable at all is because of their use, you know, in other aspects, not because of sentries, which is, like, the entire point you're supposed to get the armors for, but because of, for Valhalla Knight, oh, it has good regen and decent minion damage. So I could make, like, a minion-focused setup with this. Except it doesn't have any minion slots. And its regen, like, got nerfed in 1.4 because you're not allowed to have fun, I guess. Ironically, the thing Valhalla armor is best at isn't actually as performing as a melee summoner hybrid, because it completely lacks minion slots, and if you split your accessories between minion and summoner, you're just not going to do very well, because you won't have enough good damage with either, and that's, like, even assuming you have a Terra Prisma. It's actually best as an Obsidian armor upgrade, because almost no other armor, like, up until that point in the game, like, has that much, minion damage. And whips get boosted by minion damage, not melee damage, or melee speed, or anything else. It's just minion damage, not minion slots, or anything. So actually, the biggest weapon that Valhalla armor boosts is whips. Like, everyone wants a whip-focused hard mode armor set. It's just sitting there. It's Valhalla Knight armor. It has the same bonus to whip DPS Obsidian armor does, because when you factor in the lack of whip speed compared to Obsidian armor, but the increased minion damage, it actually has a similar DPS. The only thing it's missing is the range, but that's made up for and more by the ridiculously increased defense and the decent, actually, still life regeneration of it. So, a armor set that was supposed to focus on making sentries more viable just boosts whips even more than they already are. So, the actual best way to use Valhalla Knight armor is just whip swapping. Dark Harvest, Durandal, and Kaleidoscope grants like 7,000 or 8,000 single target DPS and like tens of thousands of multi-target. It's just dumb. So yeah, that's why I don't particularly like sentries. And I actually love Valhalla armor. I think it's a really cool set that's underappreciated. But like, if the devs want it to be useful as a whip set, you know, they did a really bad job. As a sentry set, they did a really bad job. They did a fantastic job of making it viable as a whip set. But I don't think that was intentional. Here you go. What type of computer do you have? I have a gaming laptop that's a few years old, which actually still runs Terraria pretty well. i7 7th gen from Intel. Okay, Goblin Army has been defeated. Could go for Skeletron. Kinda feel like going for Skeletron. It seems like a terrible idea. I suppose I should really go get some Obsidian first. But anyway, that's my little rant on sentries. Trying to, like, read chat while falling down the elevator is not particularly efficient. There's the Squire's Shield, Apprentice Scarf, and there might be others. Yeah, the issue is they all are literally the same accessory, but, like, reskinned. I'm not even joking. Like, look at the effects they give. It's all the exact same effect, and they don't even stack. Like, what's the point of making 3 different accessories if the only difference between them is their look? They have the exact same functionality. Like, that's what texture packs are for. I don't get the point. No other, like, item in the game just has the exact same functionality as a different item, but just as a reskin. Like, why would you make 3 different items? Just so, like, the player has to keep track of more names? What? What's the point? It feels like the Old Ones Army event, like, the crossover, was just, like, designed to say, like, oh, we have a tower defense event in our game. And then they gave up thinking of how to balance it after that. Because they didn't think about how well or poorly tower defense items would perform in a sandbox game. And the issue is, like, they try to nerf it every time it seems to be viable for, like, something that they didn't intend to, but, like, that's the entire point of the sets. They didn't make their, like, what it's intended to be good enough, so people just came up with different approaches. And, like, now they get, like, annoyed that people are trying to use the armor set for some other reason, and are like, oh wow, we should nerf this. This wasn't what we intended. Well, I mean, you made the intended purpose of it so bad that, like, everyone was going to come up with other reasons to use it. Why did you give it the life regen buff? if you didn't want it to be used like as individual pieces, which is another thing I don't like. Why would you nerf the individual pieces? Like, because you want the set to be used, okay? But what's wrong with people combining different pieces from different armor sets? There's almost no reason to ever do that in-game, outside of a few particular builds. Like if you're going for maximum defense or something, but that's almost always unrealistic in practice. But it would be cool, in my opinion, if there were more reason to. That would improve the variety of different strategies that people did, and I think variety is a good thing. So I think it would be nice if Terraria had more armor items like the Valhalla Knight chestplate that just granted strong bonuses on their own. Like, there's the concern of, well, yeah, but then it's overpowered. No, you're giving up set bonuses, which are a pretty major, like, element of armor. So, like, I think that having something to replace that set bonus would be pretty balanced. So yes, I think, like, if you make the pieces difficult enough to obtain, mismatching them to form a particular build should be encouraged, because that adds variety to gameplay. The Shinobi armor boosts melee speed and has the same amount of minion damage as Valhalla. Yeah, but it has less defense and life regen. So I wouldn't like using it. Plus, it also gives more damage to melee weapons, which is just wasted because you use whips, not melee weapons with it. So I prefer Valhalla. If you want pure minion damage, Spooky has more. But the reason you'd like Valhalla is because it's also tanky, not just a glass cannon. For glass cannon, you just go Spooky and Terra Prismas. The interesting thing with Valhalla is that it has good DPS, not glass cannon DPS, while being tanky. And no one likes that because it's not the tankiest set in the game, and everyone likes extremes of one thing or another. And I just want my summoner tank. Like, yeah, just because something isn't the absolute best at one thing doesn't mean it's useless. Like, I'd say Valhalla Knight is honestly, one of the most interesting armor sets in the game. Because it's not the best at any one thing. Besides maybe life regen. It, like, makes you play a different playstyle. Like, you don't normally get to play a tanky summoner. It's an interesting gameplay decision. Will you come back, Cave Bat? 142 obsidian should be enough. And we forgot our water walking potions. Why do you have two different magic mirrors favorited? That does not make any sense. There we go. Obsidian skin potion would also be nice, but I guess that doesn't seem to be happening anytime soon. The THCC Solar Pillar Trench Warfare was the only fun pillar experience I've ever had. I honestly can't think of another time I've actually had fun with pillars, although I'm not sure. I guess the Trench Warfare was interesting, because you don't, like, really have it happen. Although I think the main reason it was interesting was just because it was different. I wouldn't say, like, having that every game would be enjoyable. Like, the only time pillars being interesting is when they break should give you a pretty good indicator of what's wrong with pillars. Oh, another life crystal. Oh, and another life crystal. Wow, and a gravitation potion. Okay. Guess we can finish exploring that other side. And a chest. And a mace and a single gold coin. Okay. Well, I guess that works. Also, should you be taking notes? I don't know, I feel like this is more of just a rant I have about Terraria game design. I don't think you need to take notes on it. Honestly, I think the biggest change you could do to Terra game design would just be to remove pillars, and that would solve so many problems by itself. Then just balancing late game items would be a nice bonus to make more of them viable. I feel like I'm like one of the few people who like actually like Old Ones Army. I like the event. I just dislike how it's implemented because I think because of the fact that I like the event. I think everyone else who like doesn't play it wouldn't really care as much. But I like playing the event. I just think that it's sad that there's like basically no reason to. You get basically nothing for playing in it 9 out of 10 times. And the fact that you have to, like, beat it, like, multiple times on higher difficulties, to be able to get the set for the next boss, for example, because on Master for the Worthy, like, beating Tier 3 pre-Moonlord is next to impossible, so you basically just end up grinding Tier 2 dozens of times, and that's just not fun gameplay. But, yeah. You haven't done Old Ones on Me once, but you do love the Flying Dragon's design. Yeah, I think it's a really cool design. I just think it's a shame the sword is actually just completely useless by itself. That's just my opinion on it. Ranger Summoner when? I don't think that's like a particularly effective playstyle, is it? Like, I can't think of any, like, real reason you'd go Ranger Summoner, besides, like, just having a minion, but that's, like, just having a minion you'd have for every class. That's not really a hybrid like Melee Summoner is. Melee Summoner is, like, a full-on hybrid because it works together nicely. I probably shouldn't be standing near lava while doing this. Would be nice if I could, like, find someplace safe to do everything. Just realized, water walking wouldn't protect me from that lava. But this seems pretty nice. Just need, like, a bit of Hellstone and a Hellforge. Then Obsidian Armor could be possible. Could get, Snowflinxes. I don't know why I keep on thinking about how to convert to Summoner. I don't even have Feral Claws, I don't... Well, actually, no, I think I do have Feral Claws in one of the chests. It's weird that my brain just automatically, like, turns to how do I go Summoner. I think it's too much THC. I need to, like, stop playing THC. Summoner is just the meta in that whip-focused Summoner. And Guide Voodoo Demon. This is not particularly comfy. This is really not comfy. Okay, that's a one hit. Okay. That could have gone badly. Time to get out of here. Okay. Hellforge is acquired. Oh yeah, another THC habit. I just mine all the Hellforges for some reason. It mildly annoys people when they have to search longer for Hellforges and takes almost no time. So, just a habit I've developed, which is just mildly detrimental in all other forms of gameplay. You'd like to see more hybrid classes. The thing is, most hybrid classes just don't have real synergy like Melee Summoner has. Like, sure, you can go hybrid range Summoner, but it's not it's not gonna be significantly more efficient than just focusing on Ranger. Like for range summoner hybrid, like there's not really much you can do. Like you could go Old One's Army hybrid, but like it doesn't work very well. There's no good Old One's Army range like summoner set. Although that said, even the ones that aren't that good are still like semi-viable just because of how bad Shroomite is. Which like I hate Shroomite because you never want to stand still in a boss fight. Like, why would you make an armor that encourages doing less gameplay? Why? I just don't get why Shroomite was ever, like, envisioned as an armor set. Who, like, thought that would encourage, like, interesting gameplay? I want to know. Because it really doesn't. It's not even a bad armor set, it's just the set bonus is so frustrating. But yeah, that's my rantings on summoner hybrids. I think melee summoner is the only real hybrid that works, like, better than the individual components at least. Like, sure, I guess, like, if you wanted to go range summoner, you could, like, get some summoner potions, but witching table, you could get 3 minion slots, but, like, why? One thing I have liked is just going, hollowed, summoner hood, because just going that hood, if you, like, are considering going mage for hollowed, I encourage you to instead go for the summoner hood. It only has marginally less defense, and it will grant you 3 more minion slots. You lose the mana, and, like, a bit of damage, but the amount of damage you gain, like, is just insane. Plus, you get the 3 minion slots, like, and because Optic Staff exists at that point, it looks more like, 6, which means you just look cool. Which is way more important than, like, optimizing DPS, obviously. So that's what I enjoy playing. Hollowed Summoner is just fun. And then just using another, like, main weapon, because a Hollowed Summoner doesn't actually give that many boosts to whips. So if you want to play, like, Summoner as, like, a secondary class, like, I just recommend going Hollowed Summoner and using a weapon besides whips. In my opinion, that's like the easiest way to play Summoner. And if you decide to use melee weapons, Durandal plus Excalibur. Or Durandal plus True Knight's Edge if you've defeated all 3 mechs. Because Durandal has a very nice boost to melee speed. It would be nice if you just decided to die, Fire Imp. Thank you. Thank you very much. You need to buff Old One's army armors and add more sets like Frost and Forbidden. I'm not sure. I like Frost and Forbidden armors, but I'm not sure if the game needs more sets like those. I think the main thing would be rebalancing the sets already in the game. The game has plenty of interesting armor sets. The problem is most of them aren't viable. 1.4 tried to fix that, but made it worse in a lot of ways. Which was sad. It just made different armor sets viable instead. Now melee is basically just the meta. Like everyone, like, I hear, like, half of people saying, oh, melee is pointless, and half of people, like, just demolishing bosses with melee. Like, no, you're not good at the game for beating a boss with melee only. You're using the most powerful class in the game. Now, Summoner has higher DPS, yes, but Summoner doesn't have an armor set that gives you 45% damage reduction. Like, Valhalla Knight is nice, like, for face tanking Summoner, but it can't compete with Speedle, like, straight out. Now, True Melee I consider different, mainly because it's just never a good idea. So, like, beating something with True Melee only, now that's an accomplishment. That is significantly harder than most other classes. Now, I would actually like to do a Summoner playthrough with no whips, but unfortunately, I think that the Old Ones Army would be impossible. Which is sad. Which would also mean that, like, all the, like, sentry-focused gameplay would be impossible, so that would kind of remove the point of no whips. Also been thinking about a sentry-only run, but that also doesn't seem very realistic. You'd have to get the snowball launcher, which, debatable if it's even a sentry, but assuming it is, and you're fine with using it, a ton of grinding at the beginning, which is okay if the rest of the challenge is good, but then, okay, so how do you defeat Old One's Army with a snowball launcher? Like, even tier 1... I'd assume you'd need multiple, which means an even more ridiculous amount of grinding. But then you'd also need something to deal with the air enemies. So I think that if Sentry only isn't physically impossible, it's definitely one of the things that's just too... how would I say it? Too annoying to really think about doing just as a run. Plus, like, half the bosses you'd have to fight on, like, Classic to even have enough DPS, and Classic is just boring. Which reminds me of how much I hate that God mode exists, because you could, like, technically go, oh, hey, Journey mode, I could use that to, like, freeze time and make the challenge more interesting, but no, because then if you allow Journey mode, everyone allows God mode for some reason, which removes the point entirely. I'd really like a Journey mode, like, playthrough. I think Journey mode is interesting, but it kind of, like, loses its point when you can just activate God mode. It just removes all challenge. If Journey mode didn't have God mode, I'd definitely consider playing it more. For now, It just feels like a knockoff creative mode. When the devs, like, specifically said, oh, yeah, we're doing something else. We're not doing, like, a creative mode. We're doing our own thing. You're gonna have to walk for stuff. Yeah, walk for stuff with, like, invincibility? This doesn't seem like walking. This just seems like going through the motions of playing a game. The rest of Journey mode would be interesting, though, if it wasn't made irrelevant by God mode. Having to kill Brain or Eater just to get your first sentry seems unfun. Maybe something else before getting a sentry. Snowball launcher. The problem is that's like a rare, very rare drop. I think it's like 1 in 150 from an enemy that is uncommon to begin with. So, yeah, enjoy AFKing. You could allow, like, maybe any, summoner weapons until you get your first sentry, but then it just turns into, like, a summoner-only run with extra steps. Which reminds me, maybe I should just do a summoner-only run, because I've never actually done a pure, straight-out, from-the-start summoner-only run. Never really done that. I've, like, switched to summoner later on. But I've always, like, used melee weapons or something at the beginning. It just seems like, I don't know, I just never particularly look forward to it. Particularly on higher difficulties, because if you just get hit by a single enemy, they one-shot, which is not great. 1.4 was, like, they made it a bit easier with the whips, but now it's just, The grindy part is still there, but not as bad, but now, like, the challenge is also, like, Maybe I just like complaining about everything, though, because I think I manage to complain about almost every change Relogic does, whether it's good or bad. I just like talking about game design unnecessarily. I think it's interesting. Does Team Mod Loader have 1.4? There's currently a beta for it, but it apparently crashes every, like, 20 minutes or something. Not sure how stable it is. That's just what I've heard. So take that as you will. Preferably with a bucket or two of salt. We should be able to stop getting Hellstone soon as well. Like, now I understand, like, why, like, some people will just, like, go, like, full off on commentary, like, during gameplay. Like, it's just, like... Although, I think... I don't know if Terraria is the best game for it. Like... What would be, like, interesting would be, like, just a Bed Wars stream with just, like, Terraria, like, ranting about game design. That would be funny. Everyone, like, comes there expecting Bed Wars commentary. No, it's just a discussion on Terraria game design with some Bed Wars in the background. I have spent way too long, like, over my life just arguing about... Well, not just Terraria game design, but Terraria game design has taken up a good amount of it. I have no idea how I didn't get hit. Okay, that time I dodged. I don't know how I didn't get hit the first time. You love ranting about Terraria boss design. Boss design? I'm not really sure I'm into boss design particularly. I like item balancing and, like, progression. I think boss design is interesting, but it's an area that I won't pretend I'm good at. I like the current bosses in Terraria, and I don't have much to complain about with them, except for a few remarks that would probably get filtered out in any commercial broadcasting about the Brain of Cthulhu. But besides from that, I think the boss design of the game is actually pretty good. I don't know why I'm, like, going up. Like, there's not any Hellstone up here. I'm just going up. But yeah, I feel the bosses in the game are pretty good. I should use the meatball more. What did I just... That was the stupidest movement I ever did. Brain of Confusion is just excusing all my terrible gameplay right now. Meatball's way better than Star Fury for dealing with bats. I think this can be, like, the last pocket of Hellstone we mine. Are you trying to craft 10 Hellstone armor sets? I don't know, I just automatically, every game, just go for more Hellstone than, like, most people. I don't even know why I'm going for Hellstone. I don't think I'm even going for Hellstone armor. I'm just mining Hellstone at this point while like talking about Terraria game design. It's just like my brain deciding what it's going to do in the background. Like, oh hey, you're gonna talk about Terraria? Okay, we're just gonna keep on doing this, like, task you assigned to us until you forget that you did it, and then remember it again. And you're like, oh, you've been mining Hellstone for the past 10 hours? Neat. I guess I have a lot of Hellstone now. I guess that's cool. And Bone Serpent. Would you like a meatball? Are you a fan of meatballs, or do you like spaghetti more? Or do you like both? What do you prefer, Mr. Bone Serpent? I don't think he likes meatballs. I think he's a spaghetti fan. Maybe we can, like, force him to try it, though. Trying stuff probably won't kill you. And almost 500 wool. I don't know if we have enough for 10 armor sets yet. I think we might need to keep mining. No, he's calling for 23. You mean 32, right? I think he means 32. Just don't die. Exactly. That's a weird lava lake area. Very big lava lake. Am I at the edge of housing? No, I'm not. Okay, that was just a randomly big lava lake for some reason. There we go. More splunkers. Because why not? I do feel like, just a random stream of some other game talking about game design would just be fun to do. Bed Wars probably. Although Bed Wars, like... You can't... In one way, you, like, can't focus on it as easily. I probably have enough Hellstone by now. But in another way, you, like, kinda can more easily because it's 3D. I don't know. We need to replace our furnace. Yeah, we do have Feral Claws. That is not our building chest. Where is our building chest? There we go. Building chest. Bed Wars isn't the greatest for commentary, in my opinion. Oh, I just completely forgot Obsidian Skull would be nice. Oh, well. Nth Staff, why not? We have 125 bars. I think we can afford it. Molten Fury, why not? Hammocks. Hold on, that's 15, 20, 40, 55. Yeah, that'll be enough for the set as well. We'll be missing 5 for the bug net, but who cares about the bug net? But also, who cares about the hammocks? I like the hammocks, actually. This is a debate. I mean, Crimson Armor is arguably better. It is a multi-purpose set, so it would kind of be better for range. I think I'll just not make armor for now. This might be dumb for hardcore, but, like, I don't care. And a greatsword. There we go. And we can do that, and potions. And ores. And buildings, and weapons, and weapons. There we go. I highly doubt we'll make it to the dungeon in time, but whatever. Whatever. Why are you keeping both pickaxes? Because, the Deathbringer and Nightmare pickaxe are better against blocks that you can break in one hit with them. For example, that breaks it in one hit, and this also breaks it in one hit. But the evil pickaxes have a higher, swing speed than the molten pickaxes. So against blocks that are destroyed in one hit, like, dirt, evil pickaxes are actually better. And molten pickaxe is, better against stone and stuff. Did you make sure to get your Hellstone armor sets? Nah. Crimson... I want to try out Crimson armor, because I feel like it might actually be better. Like, with Molten Fury. I wonder how soon I'll get to Skelly. Could drop a swiftness potion. Seems like a bit of a waste, but whatever. I wonder if I could kill him in time. Do you guys think I should try Skelly? I don't know how far is it. Actually, we probably won't get in time, unfortunately. Sadly, it's a large world, so takes a while. Keep on trying to read chat and get it anywhere. Trying to read chat and do anything in Terraria is not the best idea. I so wish I could, like, have it pop up on, like, my same screen instead of, like, having to turn around. Oh yeah, Drunk Dungeon means this is gonna be even more awkward to deal with. Use pumpkin armor. This does not seem to be the best idea. Crimson armor actually has a 6% damage bonus by itself, so only 4% less. Which tree even is it? Not that one. Not this one. There we go. Yeah, I don't think we'll be fighting Skelly tonight, but we can make Serena, I guess. For tomorrow night. And there, and there, and there. There we go. And maybe make some platforms over here. Use cactus armor. Don't think this is the Storms Only run, sadly. So I should probably do a mini truck only run at some point. That would be fun. Could probably make a video out of that. Would be interesting. I don't even know why I'm bothering with an arena if I'm not fighting him for a good while. Guess I can gather some bait while I'm here. Why not? Do you need to break the area under this? Oh. Huh. This gives you wood. That's a bit underwhelming. I wanted bait. Well, I guess wood is also handy. Okay, well, we made, like, the tiniest arena possible. And how long has the stream been going on for? Let's see... The stream has been going on for... Oh, actually, not quite 2 hours yet. Only 1.5. Okay. We could go a bit longer. I don't, by the way, plan on this being a particularly long stream. Could kill Eater of Wolves. How much defense do we have? We have 30 defense. That could get up to 40 with buffs. We could do Eater. That'd be fun. I wonder, actually, if Crimson or Hellstone would be better for Eater. Where did our... We could actually try. Just see what happens with Eater. You know what? Six extra defense. We have 7, 17, 23, wait, no, 24, and 31% extra melee DPS, compared to 6, so that's 28% extra melee damage, and 8 defense, but we lose to life regen. What we could do, and I think what would be the most interesting idea, would be to get a Snapthorn. Let me just put this wherever. Let me see what we have in the herbs chest. Could we make a snapstone, actually? No, we couldn't. What would we need? We have enough vines. We can actually check. I want to try Snapstone versus Eater of Worlds. We need 12 stingers, so we need another stinger. I want to try face tanking Eater of Worlds with Snapstone. Oh, and then we also should make Obsidian Armor as well. It's hardcore, so health regen is a bit more important, but Molten is still better. I mean, I'd argue defense is pretty important in hardcore as well. You need super healing. Use your OP tank summoner setup. You don't need super healing potions for the tank summoner. That's just greater healing potions in hard mode, which are pre-hard mode boss, pre-mechs. The build itself, though, is post-Golem, pre-Lunatic Cultist. Although, it can be obtained immediately after Golem, just by farming Tier 2 Old One's Army. And since Golem is a joke, it's more like post-Plantera. Although it is annoying that, like, basically every build has to compete with defensive Beetle. I don't know why they made it so good. It's just annoying, but whatever. I mean, I like Beetle armor, but it's just so OP that it makes like every other armor choice feel suboptimal when you play it. And we need to go this way. There we go. And we can see how well Snapstone Obby armor tanking works against Eater of Worlds. The interesting part in a pre-hard mode is that all the armor sets are actually relatively close in defense between the classes, compared to what you'd see in hard mode, because accessories, the reforges, grant the same amount of defense in hard mode and pre-hard mode, so using your preferred armor set in pre-hard mode is almost always better, regardless of how much defense it gives, because the defense difference between the armors just isn't that great. But in hard mode, it's less often that is the optimal playstyle. So in hard mode, it's sometimes worth going a defensive armor just because it gives so much more tankiness. Okay, we got a stinger. Now let's get one more so that after we craft it, we'll still have one in our setup. Any horns nearby? Okay, I don't actually care that much. We got two. Okay. Apparently the other hornet did drop one. Here you go. We can get a Snapstone. If we add in Pharaoh Claws, we don't really need a Band of Regen. Ooh, it is warding though. It is warding, so that's like an interesting choice of whether or not to use it. I guess we could take away the Brain of Confusion. Yeah, we could de-equip that. Okay, and we should have... Yeah, we can make some more Obsidian armor with that. Should hopefully give us enough Obsidian. If not, there's some water over here. We can actually just use that initially. It's bigger and easier to get to. Just use an auto-clicker and boom, Pharaoh Claws are useless. I don't particularly like using auto-clickers. Plus, Pharaoh Claws are good in a build anyway. for melee speed. So they're not really useless. Berserker's Glove is actually one of the best accessories for Summoner. Whips are great because they benefit both from summon damage and melee speed bonuses. And the melee speed accessories are some of the best damage boosting accessories in the game. For example, a Celestial Shell is actually really worthwhile to go for as Summoner, even though it's a melee focused item. Because it boosts both all damage and melee speed, so you actually still benefit from it twice, even if you're not melee. And the insanely higher damage of whips compared to melee weapons is just felt. Honestly, Summoner is the real true melee. Not even joking. It's more true melee than melee is half the time. Because no whips shoot projectiles. Multiplayer hardcore would be a pain. You tried it once and died within the first 20 minutes. It honestly, it is pretty luck based. So you could like die in one playthrough and then do well in another, do well in one, die in another. It definitely is very variable on how well you do. How much are we regenning? Okay, we're having decent regen. What if we drink that? Okay, decent regen even while moving. Okay. Sadly, as soon as we get a Goblin Tinker, this band of regen is going to be basically useless. But whatever. $200 obsidian should be more than enough. I'm just gathering anyway because the water's gonna run out. May as well get as much as I can. Because why not? Okay, I think we can get one more row. Okay. Time to make like 5 different crafting stations to craft obsidian armor. Where is it? Here's the ores chest. And sawmill. And loom. And tissue sample. And herbs. And obsidian armor. Oh, it's actually 30 silk. Okay. I was thinking, I think, like, I usually make 30 silk, and someone said it was 20, and I'm like, oh, I'm being inefficient. No, but I was right, it was 30 silk. Okay. And there we go. We've somehow decided to convert to Summoner for literally no reason. Two minions. And Snaps on. 24 base damage, not too bad. And I suppose Molten would be pretty pointless to keep. We can keep Crimson on, maybe. And I suppose this is pretty useless. Flask would be nice, but we don't really have flasks, so... maybe we can grab some bombs. There we go. For Eater of Worlds. Keep on trying to read chat. Master Hardcore Woolsey Drunk Bees Daytime Empress. Why? Just why? I think we got to Duke? I can't remember if we got to Plantera in that. I need to make a video on that. Probably should just make a video, period, but I am actually working on another video, even if it doesn't seem like it. Another For the Woolsey video, actually. But it's been taking a very long time to finish, so I'm hoping that it can be done soon and I can just release it. But it's too big to even like post in like one part, so it's gonna be like split up into multiple parts. But at least then like I could have one part out, which would be an improvement. Stop procrastinating editing. You need to sleep. Just edit. Oh, stop. Just edit the video. But Terraria is fun. There you go. We can try face tanking Eater of Worlds as summoner. I think it would go pretty well. Just raw footage of Terraria. No cuts or sped up parts. I think that a 50-hour, I guess maybe 70-hour long video wouldn't be very interesting. I'm not going to lie. Cut into 1 hour each unedited clips. This doesn't seem like very good video material. This just seems like the least effort possible. And this doesn't seem like it would make a good video. You're just streaming uploads of OGs. Well, I mean, I didn't stream the playthrough, so I kind of have to edit it. This is sad. This is just sad. Okay, I need to get a few horse. Why is Summoner this broken? Anyway, yeah, whips are kind of like the main damage source of summoners. And like, you could say this is because I have Hell Gear, but like, Obsidian Armor is barely like even a post like Eater of Worlds set. You can just kill a few segments and get it. You'll need to actually kill the boss. But yeah, warm enemies are bad. There we go, Eater's Bone, why not? Musket, meh. I should probably put these away. And probably bring out this armor set again, just to be able to get up from the dungeon. It's post-fight, not post-boss, yeah. There's a reason Obby armor is post-evil boss. I mean, It's half post-evil boss. I don't actually know if we can kill Skelly with the setup, because we won't have very much room to maneuver. Although I guess we could technically farm for Spinal Tap before we even fought him. That would be funny. You know what? You somehow fixed your sleep cycle by waking up at 4 a.m. I don't know how that fixes the sleep cycle, but congrats. The skulls that summons always annoys you. I don't know how I managed to, like, just convert to summoner instantly. But yeah, the skulls are annoying, but you can just go in a circle to avoid them. And after Skelly, what do we really need? Well, we could honestly just go for Wall of Flesh. Just get a water walking potion, throw a ride voodoo doll, and see what happens. That'd be funny. Just no preparation whatsoever, just walk into hard mode. Don't know if we'll make it in time this time. More like Summoner 32. I need to try out more classes besides Summoner. I just feel like I'm playing so unoptimally whenever I'm not playing Summoner for some reason. It wouldn't be if you die. Well, just don't die. All I have to do is not get hit. It's only like Master Hardcore. It's pretty casual. Pirates would invade. Small chance, small chance. Oh, there's a Demon Eye. Nice going on. And here we go, a few more trees. We will probably be in time to kill Skeletron. If he switches into his daytime form mid-fight, well, I guess we should have just gotten better at the game. Okay. This is probably a terrible idea. Okay, that might have been a bad idea, but hey, it was funny. And we did get some bones. But I think we might actually need Spinal Tap in, like, an actual arena before killing Skeletron, sadly. You thought it was for the Woolsey? No, it's just casual, Master Hardcore. Yeah, that's why I could just fool around with Skeletron. You can't really do that on Forthworthy. Can you get bones pre-Skeletron? Yeah. Because Drunkwold, there's like one chamber, like you can like hang around in the summon chamber, and mobs will spawn as long as you don't go deeper. You can get bones and usually a Muramasa pre-Skelly. And you have to stop scaring us like that. Just don't get a heart attack. Easy. Can Dungeon Guardian spawn during Skeletron? Yup. Part 2. The last stream was like a week or so ago. I forget exactly how long ago. Then there I beat, what was it? Reign of Cthulhu. What was it? Eye of Cthulhu, and I think that was it. Well, Eye of Cthulhu before Reign of Cthulhu. Although I suppose Reign of Cthulhu is so, like, cheesable as long as you don't get unlucky that you could do it before Eye. The problem is not getting unlucky and having it teleport directly on top of you. Is that your Steam? Because I'm getting confused, yeah. I really need to, like, tell people to stop messaging me during the stream. My apologies for that. Yeah, we can just form a Spinal Tap here. And then, either kill Skeletron tomorrow night or go for Wall of Flesh. Who was messaging you on, stream? I think it was, the Trigger guys from the THCC. Okay, right now we're just grinding some bones. Would be nice if I had a sentry. This is like one of the few situations where a sentry would be useful. Alchemy table is nice. There we go. And there we go. And a few more bones. And a few more bones. Oh, and there goes the skeleton. Only need 90, so we're a bit more than halfway there already. Like, the fact that you can just get this weapon, like, pre-Skeletron and Drunk is just insane. Combined with Snap Thorn, it's just dumb. It also has way better crowd control than Snap Thorn, which already has good crowd control. You like to get up to faster melee speed with Snap Thorn? Yup. That plus the stacking of summon damage is just great. See Muramasa pre-Skeletron. Very fair. That's just Drunk Waldron. And, oh yeah, we don't have cobwebs. There we go. Spinal Tap. Time to get rid of this, because we don't need it anymore. All that. 37 damage pre-Skeletron. very, very fair. I'm so scared you're gonna accidentally summon Dungeon Guardian. Don't be scared. I have recalls, so I have 30 get out of jail free cards. That's what it said on the Terraria wiki, tips for hardcore. I'm sure the Terraria wiki is 100% accurate on everything, so I'm pretty sure I have like 30 free get out of jail free cards. Use Fiery Greatsword and Molten Armor. I think that Spinal Tap and Snapstone have higher DPS. The only issue would be I'd really like a balloon and a straight pass up to get out. That would be optimal, just to like get 200 units onto the surface to have more room. Which would mean Goblin Tinkerer, so we have to like find Goblin Tinkerer somehow. I wonder if you could make like a farm for Goblin Tinkerer. I've never actually looked into that. That would be interesting. Wiki isn't accurate. It thinks Ice Guard is a tool. What do you mean Ice Guard is a tool? It's a very, very powerful tool. Have I defeated Queen Bee yet? No, although actually that might be a good idea. Because we don't actually need much from the dungeon since we got Spinal Tap. Where's a beehive? There's a beehive. Time to make a Heart Lantern and go fight Queen Bee for no reason. Well, actually, a reason. Flasks are great. There we go. You searched up hardcore tips and you saw Ender Dragon. Turns out it was a Minecraft hardcore tips. I mean, if you like playing Minecraft hardcore, it could be useful. I should really swap this out. I'm used to having 2 different whips in slots 7 and 8 when I play Summoner. I have a bow in slot 1, which feels weird, but at least I have the whips close together. I have my side mouse keys bound to 7 and 8 so I can get to them quickly. Thought that was an Eater of Souls for a second. But yeah, the combination of these two is absolutely great. 13 summon tag damage, like that's more than 50% additional DPS on the Imp staff. And the Spinal Tap's multi-target damage is just amazing, boosted by Snapstone's melee speed. These two whips are just meant to be used together. It's amazing. I wonder if Flinxes would honestly be better. I think they might hit marginally more than Imps. Maybe a Flinx and an Imp? Kinda tempted to do that. I'm not sure how dumb that idea is. Well, maybe a Vampire Frog and an Imp, but I really don't feel like Blood Moon fishing. Could do the Blade Staff Titanium Armor strat. Warm down. When are you streaming Bed Wars when talking about game design? Probably at 3 AM at some point in the world. I need to play Bed Wars more. It's a fun game. Punch bows are just fantastic to abuse. Almost as good as Summon Shank, but not quite. Almost, but not quite. There we go. And we already missed the way down, because of course we did. Ah yes, because it's covered in water, because of course it is. Need to make like an actual pass down here. Like, have I said how good whips are for crowd control? Especially the jungle. They're great into the jungle. There we go. Like, right now, I'm not playing Summoner, I'm just playing a whip user. Look how much DPS these things have. It's just objectively better than a Knight's Edge because you don't get close enough, fast enough with a Knight's Edge to compete. It takes way less effort than a Knight's Edge to craft. Look how fast it kills everything. Why would you ever go for Knight's Edge over this? Oh, there goes Cereal. Oh, I think that was a stinger. One thing I hate about Queen Bee is the poison. Can I not? Okay, I can place torches. Okay. We may not actually win because we could use a Bazaar. Hopefully the Spinal Tap can just out-DPS it. And I don't have to think about Bazaars and stuff. Oh right, Drunk. Which means that the Hive is just massive, which does make the arena easier. And the fight easier, except for the fact that Hornets will never stop interrupting you, which does make it harder. So it's kind of a mixed bag. Oh, that looks like a trapped chest. Or maybe not, the bolt is in a really weird position to be a trapped chest. Would be nice if I had Goblin Tinkerer by now. Oh! Okay, I swear I did not see him when I said that. Well, that's convenient. Does he have any house? We have one, and we have some houses over there. I swear I did not see him. Okay. Well, that's the most convenient Goblin Tinkerer in history. There's the larvae. There's the second larvae. And there's the very annoying Hornets. Well, okay. Well, we can try one fight without Tinker accessories just to see how well we do. I don't expect us to win, which is fine. Just like blocking off areas for Hornets to shoot at us from above and below. Okay, so you have like a little area here. And a bit of area here. Okay, that seems good. Buff. Sorry, there was a fly IRL. I think it's dead now. Okay, there we go. And we already have Satisfied, Regen, Swiftness, Night Owl, why not? I like seeing things. Let's just do it. Oh right, it's not for the Warzy. Queen Bee's a joke. Look how slow this thing is. I don't even have my minions. I over-prepared for this, wow. I so over-prepared. we can just flat out DPS, like, out damage it. Doesn't help that we shoot through walls. Well, it doesn't help for it. I forgot how easy non-for the Warzy Queenly is. That was the most disappointing boss summoning sound ever. Yeah, regular Master Mode boss fights are a bit of a joke. Remember, this is pre-Skeletron Nier on a Drunk Seed. This is how busted Drunk Seeds are. You can get this pre-Skelly. And there we go. I don't think we have any more larvae left. Time to just whip the whole hive in hopes of getting another free summon. Yeah, I don't think we have one, at least not that I can see. Well, yeah, drunk wolves are busted. More news at 10. I don't think it would be in here either. Okay. And we got a witch doctor. We can get a jungle pylon set up now. Well, that basically finishes our pre-wall of flesh setup. We could go B armor. Why? I have no clue, but we could. 16 summon damage. That is surprisingly not bad. We can sell one of these. Oh yeah, we could combine, we could add the leather weapon. 19. Wow, almost as much as the Snaps one, but it's still terrible, so like, no. And some gray brick. Who needs a elevator when we can just make a pylon to get the Goblin Tinker? A pygmy necklace. I mean, seems a bit inefficient. Summons aren't very good at this point. Don't really see a reason to get pygmy necklace. I'll make like some houses near hell. The Goblin Tinker. I think we should still kill Skelly for the mechanic, but we can do that later. I think he also likes the dye trader, so we could just do that. And there we go. We get from there to there. No, we can't. If you could spare an accessory slot, I prefer mobility. I don't think it would add much DPS, to be honest. Don't really see the reason to. Put Goblin Tinker at Ice Pylon? No, Goblin Tinker doesn't like ice. Goblin Tinker likes underground. Also, an Ice Pylon wouldn't be very useful, since we can already get a jungle pylon. Also, we don't have mechanic. so underground it is, because I want a way to teleport to hell. Oh, free lava damage, wonderful. That's close enough. I feel like this should be... You know what would be interesting? If we went to, like, one side of hell and put it there. Could be interesting, actually. I kind of want to do that now. Just, like, at the edge of the water walking area. Seems like it would be interesting. How far does this go down? Okay. That is way too satisfying. Okay, anyway. I think we could, like, tunnel over here and maybe, like, put it towards the side of hell. I think that would be interesting. Can you get mechanic pre-Skelly? I don't think so. I'm not certain, but I'm pretty sure you have to still defeat Skelly. For maximum discount? For the mechanic, if you want to maximize the discount, then yeah, but you don't usually care about the mechanic's happiness. I usually care about the goblins more. For which underground is best. Preferably with mechanic, but we don't have mechanic right now, so that won't be happening immediately. There we go, another rail. Oh. Life crystal. Life lantern. And a geyser. I don't even know why, but I'm tempted to, like, go back to collect it, even though, like, I know that's kind of pointless. Okay, I can go over here, and I think I'm just gonna keep on going until we reach, like, the end of the flat lava part of the underworld. So that way we can, like, teleport directly to one side to, like, do all the flesh, loot shadow chests and stuff. I think that would be a good idea. And here we are. One thing I should do is get rid of imps for hell. Just in case of guide voodoo demons. Oh yeah, I just completely forgot that I should turn back. Once we got here. I think there's a good cave up there. Can't remember if Goblin Tinkerer likes underworld as well, or just caverns and underground. Can't remember. But I guess you'll have to like underworld. I don't actually like it being that high. Would be annoying to build more for. There we go. And that still is uneven though. More even except for this part, which needs to be expanded too. And that should be good. And some doors. We can even have a door over here. Actually, no, that should probably be an actual door. Never mind. Door. And some walls. Hell pylon? I don't actually know if... I don't think there is a hell pylon. I think it would just do the cavern pylon. I have no clue, though, if it would even qualify for cavern pylon. Oh, looks like we missed. No, apparently we didn't. Okay. I think he likes the dye trader, so we can try him. Okay, how much does this stuff cost? Okay. Excellent, we can use a pylon. And we could even use a fireplace. Wonderful. What do we want? Snapthorn. Why not? Light is actually already pretty good. Let's buy this first, and that. And... oh yeah, warding fledglings. I would like warding, please. Oh, just passed it. Okay. There we go. Lucky guarding. Decent Shield of Cthulhu Reforge, maybe? Nice! Okay, got actually pretty lucky with that. Feral Claws, maybe not right now. Actually, we won't be upgrading these for a while, so actually, yes, maybe. Oh, Armored, nice. A Molten Pick, why not? Just any speed bonus, whatever. Speed bonus. Okay, good. And... would like a damage bonus, actually. Oh! That works. Why are we getting decent Reforge luck? It feels wrong. Something bad is going... Okay. You know what? I don't want to tempt fate. Let's just leave. I don't know what's going on and I'm scared. I'm not supposed to be getting good luck. Okay, do we have an aglet? Doesn't look like it. We could go... what is it? I'm sure we have a lucky horseshoe somewhere. Yeah, we have a lucky horseshoe. We could go for a horseshoe balloon. I don't think we're likely to find a pyramid, so that seems like the best option. Then we could also get rid of the wings. But, ooh, warding. Maybe we don't want to get rid of the wings. Going to try looting some of these trees to see if there's an aglet anywhere. You passed an aglet? Oh, we do have an aglet. Okay. Well, that makes it significantly easier. But... bruh. Okay. I don't know why Terraria has just decided to bless this run in particular, but I think it's pretty clear that it has, for some reason. Okay. Well, we downed Eater of Worlds, Queen Bee. We still need to kill Skelly, and Wall of Flesh. I think that if I continue on with the stream any longer, I think that Terraria might just explode due to the sheer impossibility of getting actually lucky reforges. So I think... I'm like... I like kinda wanna like go edit, but I also kinda wanna continue the stream. I'm not sure. I'll go stop the stream. Go actually edit for once. I'm hoping to get a video out soon. Oh yeah, and remember to join the Discord. Goodbye.